We have water for you today. Don't worry, the clowns are still here. We have Enneacraft again. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more OzCon. We have quite an interesting little chunk of list for you again today, where we're kind of getting to see, some of the meta challengers that want to try to play the game. Now, water has been one of those very interesting opportunity decks within the format, just because it's able to do a lot of good, strong things, but it struggles in some of the weird departments. And obviously, the strengths of this deck right now are, first Penguin being able to be a superbly good starter for the deck, which is excellent. And then there's this stupid card, the Tetsudo E Rat Newman, which says, hey, neither player can slash some monsters with 1800 or more attack. Do you know how broken it is to be able to just soft lock your opponent and you out of playing the game? And also the thing is, you can drop this on your end board. You can go through, do whatever you need to do, and then just plop down the turtle at the end of the sugar-coated rainbow, which is kind of crazy to think about. One other cool thing that this list is doing is we have access to Kairoshin. Yes, being able to have Umi acting on the field while you have Sea Stealth 2 up and running is freaking stupid, man. I knew, Kairoshin would always be a broken card because it limits there to only being one face-up non-water monster on the field. So yes, it acts in the same way that Rivalry and Gozen does at controlling the field, which is kind of broken, actually. But outside of that, the rest of what the water deck is going to do, it's the same standard control options that it's been. You're just going to notice, Mullen Glacier is still being a massively inconveniencing card, even still within this format. Mullen Glacier's job is to rip off resources from the opponent while water establishes a field. We just don't have Totally Awesome as the end board piece, but the deck is still kicking and doing well. Next up is the Clown Crew deck. Now, we have seen quite a lot of innovations with this deck. Now, this list is not playing the Sphere mode, which I thought was a hilarious option, man. Being able to trigger Biancavasio to do a tribute summon during the opponent's turn and then wipe 3 monsters off of their field felt pretty good. But no, we're not going down that route. You're also going to notice a lot of these lists are going to be doing the Novelez package. I think that this is actually pretty strong for the deck. You're also going to notice we have Dominuses in here. We're doing 2 Purge, 2 Spark. I think this is fine. Obviously, these cards get you very, very strongly set up and actually allow you some good control options. Obviously, you're playing 42 cards. You really can't afford to lock down more than this. So I think that's fine. Now you get into the side deck. You're going to notice we're playing Thestalos the Shadowfire Monarch. Oh, we can tribute this by tributing 1 or more monsters your opponent controls and 1 tribute summon monster you control. And then if this card is tribute summoned, you can banish 1 random card from your opponent's hand, and if you do, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. If this card was tribute summoned by tributing a level 8 or higher tribute summon monster, you can apply the effect. We can banish a card on the field. If it's a fire or dark, you can ping your opponent for, 200 times its original level. Just a very, very, very strong control option card here. I also see, oh god, is there a world where, we're getting Vidorium out? I guess it gives you the ability to kick 3 things back, which this deck actually can do. Yeah, this deck is getting scarier by the minute. The fact that, we have a control monarch, we have Vidorium being a usable option. Ugh. This kind of gets interesting. Next up here, we have Enneacraft. And I feel like the biggest discussion I've seen with this deck is, is Destructive Daruma Cannon good in the main or not? I've seen a lot of arguments for people bouncing back and forth on this, and I feel like that's an okay discussion to be having, honestly. You've also noticed this list isn't doing Harmonias. It's not main decking the Vanities. It just chose to go with the more standard Enneacraft approach of just having the main deck be, standardized and laid out. I see we're also playing only 2 Trito Enneacraft. We're going with 2 of the Spia Spider is an absolutely bonkers card, but now that you've got more starters than ever, we can kind of start to optimize the numbers on these cards. So, we can try to get some different ones. The only real, complaint I would really have, depending on the numbers of these things, would be, you can't just reveal 3 to get the auto add. You're going to start running into the RNG simulator at some point, which it could start to be a little bit inconveniencing, but I don't think that that's necessarily like the worst argument to be having here. I also do see we are playing double Sol and Luna. I think this is something that most of the lists are starting to agree on. You just play the 2 Sol and Luna because obviously being able to do the flip-de-loop and being able to get the whale up and running during the opponent's turn is batshit crazy, man. Whale being able to lock down 3 things is absolutely absurd, and that alone will probably win you the game. So, burn damage building and locking down things on the opponent's field so they cannot do anything is exactly why I guess we love this deck. So, obviously, deck is doing very well. It's already been performing very, very, very well. Next up here, we have, I think this is one of the coolest lists that I have seen pop up. This is Elf Note with the Mitsurugi good stuff, but also you have Synchron cards built into this. This is because your game plan with this list is to ride on in to Junk Speeder, and then Junk Speeder's just going to go, he's going to throw out the ninja stars, so you can start building up, your monsters on the field, and you can kind of start to roll through the game that way. It's actually really, really freaking cool to think about. Obviously, the Junk Speeder tech, I've only seen one build come up with this idea so far, and the deck is already being forced to rely on Mitsurugi cards to, basically be able to function. So, I guess in hindsight, judging by the incorporation of the ideas here, obviously, we can't discount the fact that, Mitsurugi cards being able to loop back resources isn't crazy, but this also still kind of proves that, the Mitsurugi cards are really good in the Cool Tune. Oh no, what are you gonna do? Rip from my extra deck? I guarantee you, if you looked at this extra deck, the first thought you're gonna go is, I'm playing against some crappy Synchro Turbo Pile, so you're gonna rip this out of the extra deck. And then suddenly you're gonna get spun down by Elf Note in Mitsurugi cards, and you're just gonna be like, ugh, what in the world is going on here? It's the multi-engine aspect that when one engine is particularly weaker, the other 2 engines can actually help optimize your game plan and actually give you a fighting chance against the meta. That's broken. And that's actually, I think, one of the stronger suits that we can see within Modern Era Yu-Gi-Oh! Now is these multi-engine decks. There's a reason why you're choosing to play them. It's so that you can edge out, the competition. Our last list here is actually going to be pure Mitsurugi. The reason why we've been showcasing so much pure Mitsurugi is, one, I want to show that the deck is not dead. All right, no matter what format you're playing into here is, we're getting into the new wave of things. You need to remember that there are, still great opportunities for this deck to do its thing. Obviously, you're going to look at good old Habagiri here, and you're going to be like, well, it's at 1. I don't know if I want to take the risk on the consistency side of things. That's fine. You don't have to play this. The other reason why you choose to play this deck is you get 6 Dominus cards. You get access to Dominus Impulse, which is already insanely broken, but you also get access to Spark. And guess what? Your whole gosh darn deck is dark minus your hand traps. And if you're forced to Dominus and you draw into Droll and Logbird, I'm just sorry at that point. You just got varianced and it happens. You have to play these cards because they actually help you establish your game plan and actually help you be able to play. It's also the same thing why you play the Super Polys. You play the Super Polys to be able to push through and, win the game. That's just all there really is to it right now. So Mitsurugi is still an incredibly good metagame choice. You're able to do so much good with this. It just amazes me that where we are right now within the space of the meta, that this deck it can struggle a little bit. Obviously, into Cool Tune, just keep on spinning with this guy, and you really shouldn't have much of a problem. Alright, so what do you guys think about these interesting little decks? Please, comment down below, tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.